Let's discuss finding joy in our lives. Paul and Timothy kick things off in Philippians with a heartfelt greeting to the Christians in Philippi, saying, hey, we're all about spreading joy and peace in your hearts. Isn't that a beautiful sentiment? Paul expresses that his prayers for them overflow with joy. When Lorie was singing last night, something clicked for me. She mentioned how becoming a Christian makes God happy, and it reminded me of how that joy resonates in both heaven and earth. There's this part in a song that says, there's a place for you, far from tragedy, safe and secure. It really emphasizes how joy is a recurring theme in our faith, especially in Philippians, which I'm currently diving into. It's filled with reminders that our joy doesn't depend on circumstances, but rather on our hearts encountering Christ. Let's talk about places because they hold significance for all of us. Paul was thinking about two key locations where he was writing from, Rome, and where he had been, Philippi. Many of you cherish memories of the old home place where you grew up or where you met someone special. Those places shape us just like they shaped Paul. Did you know that Paul's time in Philippi is a fascinating story told in Acts 16? It revolves around three very different characters. Lydia, a seller of purple cloth, a fortune-telling slave girl, and a Roman jailer. They came from diverse backgrounds and social statuses, demonstrating how the early Christian church united people from all walks of life. This eclectic community is what makes our church here at Oak Grove special. It's a place where joy and unity thrive, welcoming everyone. Despite facing persecution and imprisonment, Paul formed a deep bond with the Philippian church, one that was stronger than with any other. They supported him, even sending him gifts while he was in prison. You can feel the love in his words, calling them his joy and crown in the Lord. It's so evident that for Paul, joy stemmed from his relationships, not the circumstances around him. He reminds us that even in tough times, we can find joy. The Greek word for pleasure, chore, runs throughout Philippians. It speaks to a deep inner delight. It's pretty fascinating how Paul could write such uplifting letters from a prison cell, finding joy in his faith and connection with others. And speaking of joy, let's chat about our church. It should always be a place of joy. The difference between a resort and a retreat is fundamental. At resorts like Colina, exclusivity runs high. You need money to belong. But our church, it should be about uplifting one another and retreating from the world, not to escape, but to recharge and prepare to serve. When we get involved in church ministries, invest our time and resources, and welcome everyone, that's when we create a true community of joy. It's not just about attending services or expecting entertainment. It's about actively participating and giving back. We have an intercessory prayer ministry here that has made a huge impact on our community. It's about connecting hearts and sharing the load, especially during tough times. As Paul experienced, absolute joy isn't tied to circumstances. It's a state of being we can nurture through our relationships and service. So, how can we ensure our church remains a vibrant place of joy? By investing ourselves, including others, and sharing life's journey together, we create a journey that uplifts and enriches everyone involved. Let's remember that joy comes from Jesus, others, and you. When we focus on spreading love and supporting one another, we'll discover the incredible pleasure that life has to offer. I'd love to hear your thoughts. How can we continue to cultivate this joy together.